Former Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, retired neurosurgeon, Dr. Ben Carson. Great to see you this morning, Dr. Carson. What have you noticed about the former president's cognitive abilities in the last year or so? As a neurosurgeon, I know you have not treated him, but what do you believe is going on between the ears?
Well, all you have to do is go back and look at a series of videos over the years. We've got a long record here to compare how he was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, a year ago, and one can clearly see a decline, the kind of declines that we see in people who have some of the diseases associated with aging sometimes. And the problem here is you have a person like that making important decisions that affect the entire country, that potentially affect the entire world. He has charge of the nuclear arsenal. And we're allowing that person, but probably more serious than that is we probably weren't allowing him. We were allowing unelected people acting in his stead. And this is an incredibly dangerous situation. I hope it is investigated thoroughly and we put in place things to keep it from happening again. As far as the mental status is concerned, it's foolish of us not to be monitoring that on a regular basis. When a person turns 70 or 75 years old, they should have mental status tests done every year if they're in an important position. And that's nothing against them. It's a fact that we see happening in people who age very frequently. Some don't happen, but we should have a mechanism in place to detect that and to keep everybody from suffering as a result of it.
Yeah, Mr. Secretary, I mean, obviously, other than what we have seen cognitively, and as a doctor, you know, a couple of weeks ago, we learned the former president was diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer. I mean, as a doctor, can you imagine not testing a man in his 80s for prostate cancer, especially the president of the United States?
Well, you know, that really is a very suspicious situation. You know, I was in government for 4 years and had care done at Walter Reed. It is top-notch care. It's not flimsy work that's done there. So for 1 minute, I do not believe that it was incompetence. I think there's a transparency problem there. You're not going to come up with high-grade prostate cancer with metastasis to the bone out of the blue. And it tells you that there's some hanky-panky going on.
So would this have been a cover-up by the president and his doctors as well?
Well, it's either a cover-up or gross incompetence. And from what I've seen, there's not a lot of gross incompetence in the way that they take care of government officials. So it certainly would lead one in a different direction.
You know, Mr. Secretary, this is not new, sadly. I mean, for more than 100 years, we've seen presidents hide their health from the American people, from the United States Congress. Woodrow Wilson, FDR, JFK, and now Joe Biden. I mean, the 25th Amendment was put into place because of what happened to Woodrow Wilson and because of FDR. Do you think it's now time to maybe adjust it? Because clearly presidents, first families, White House staff aren't doing their duty and reporting and being transparent about the president's health.
Right. It's not a partisan issue. I mean, this is something that affects all of us, affects our children and our grandchildren. And we need to put in place procedures that take care of the health of the important people, the people who are making important decisions in our government. There's no question about it. It needs to be done. It needs to be ironclad, and it needs to be transparent.
And as a doctor and as a neurosurgeon, and you said that these tests are very thorough, they're done at Walter Reed, wouldn't there have been mental acuity tests done? And if so, is it the doctor's responsibility to let someone know, hey, this guy really should not have control of the nuclear football?
Certainly a part of the complete physical examination includes the mental status. And it's hard to believe that they did not detect that there was a problem. You could detect that there was a problem even without doing a mental status test. So there is a responsibility. And I think those medical professionals should be called to account for their behavior.
Information. Truth. is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.